car. One person don't fit.
One person don't fit with Torn Away Pantera. Hello and welcome to 304 BB Hits. This is our 304 file edition coming to you with episode 6. And we are talking about murder quotations victims. And in this case, people who enlist or force minors to kill for them.
Yes, help them procure their victims. It will be an interesting talk tonight. Yeah. So, who do you want to start with? Because we did some digging on Candyman, which that right there, that's a story in itself.
Yeah, I think we should open with him.
Okay.
I think that's what we did.
Yeah. Okay, well, his name was Dean Corll, and this was, August 8th, 1973. the police get a weird call. Does it say what time it was? Was it morning?
It was
night?
like 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was morning. So after a night of crazy partying, probably.
And they were from Houston and traveled to Pasadena.
Yeah, and it was in what was called the Heights area, which was like a lower class. I guess they said it had once been like a real nice upper class neighborhood, but then it had like kind of lost its luster, I guess.
Died out.
Yeah. But so they get a call from 17-year-old Wayne Henley, and he's saying, I shot a man, he's dead, and he gives them the address. Please show up. And when the police show up and they go into the crime scene, there's plastic all over. It was in a bedroom. There's a naked man, with 6 bullet holes in his back, laying dead on the floor. There's plastic sheeting all over the floor, and all over, most noticeable, I'm sure, was the torture rack with restraints and everything there.
Yeah, it was a bodyboard that they would use to carry you out on if you were picked up by ambulances.
Yeah.
Right. With handcuffs attached to it.
And there was Vaseline. There was a giant dildo.
Mm-hmm. Rope, a casket box, lime,
and a
dead man.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, and the glass pipettes.
Yeah,
this is what this man would do. Dean Coral liked to insert that into the urethra of his young teenage male victims. But that's a little
All right, so we have the setup here. We have these 3 teenagers: Rhonda Williams, Tim Curley, and Wayne Henley. And Henley, boy, they're 17, 19, and 16. 16 is the girl, 19 for Curley, and 17 for Wayne. And the man shot dead is Dean Coral, who was a 33-year-old son of a candy-making business owner.
He had worked there.
That once was inside the Heights community that was now ran down.
And local kids in the neighborhood had dubbed him the Candy Man because he would give candy to all the kids, and everybody thought he was
give them rides.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Provided the party house for the teenagers, helped you jump your car. He was described, like all the rest, as handsome.
Yeah.
As somewhat of a loner. He did not have any friends his age. He did have friends, however, within the teenage boy community. So, all the while, there's over 50 boys gone missing from the Heights neighborhood alone.
In a 4-year time span.
Right. So, and the Candyman, who was dubbed Dean Carl's Slayer name, I guess, that guy name.
Yeah.
His villain name is the Candyman. He was somewhat nomadic. He had different apartments here and there in different neighborhoods, and so when this Wayne kid shot him, obviously he was an intended victim, and he had negotiated with Dean to let him go, and he would have sex with Rhonda, who was already his girlfriend.
He's like, okay, first they show up on that night, him and his 2 friends, to party at Dean's house, but all the while, like, him and Dean have this pact going where Wayne delivers Dean victims.
Yes.
So at one point, Wayne was an intended victim of Dean's.
So that night, he was upset with Wayne.
Because Wayne brought a girl.
Exactly, and he was only supposed to bring Tim Curley.
Yeah, the young males.
So he drugged them.
The man likes so much.
Talk about huffing glue, and I'm not too sure what. I heard that before, but I'm not too sure what it was.
It was real big in the 70s. Like, they had glue huffing parties.
I don't know if it was actual, like, glue rubber cement.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or huffing, like, the duster.
Maybe. I don't know.
So anyway, they was fucking high as fuck, and they passed out, and he had woken up, handcuffed to a board. So he negotiates his way out, and when he gets the gun from Dean, who gives it to him, to instruct the others, right, because it came out that Wayne was actually the executioner.
Mm-hmm.
When he was done doing his deeds, he didn't act sexually with the teenage boys, but he did. No, but
he gave the boys to Dean for Dean to torture in the most horrific ways.
And he had been underneath Dean's spell
for 4 years
since he was 14 years old. and coming from a low-income family, someone showing interest. As far as we know, there was no sexual relations between the two.
Yeah, he never said anything
on that
but
level.
I totally
but he paid him $200 to
bring kids. Every boy that he brought to Dean, he was paid $200.
Exactly, and they got to party and live
and
his
have a
life.
place to get high. And
so, and the police are like, "This is outrageous."
Yeah,
and they soon followed.
They don't
Henley.
believe him, so he says, "I know where a whole bunch of bodies
I can show
are.
you.
Yeah,
right.
I'll show you."
They believed that the kids were victims, but they just couldn't believe that what he
His
had said
story.
following.
Yeah, because this is why Wayne is telling the police, "This is why I killed him. This is what's going on here." And he didn't really implicate himself there.
No,
you know, he doesn't
just
say that I helped him and I did this and that. He's saying I killed this guy because he was
killing. Left it at that.
Yeah, well,
I think he wasn't in it until another character comes in.
Until the other kid comes in. Then you find out there's another
So the media
kid.
is all on top of this, right? Like, it was something, like, if you could Google this and go back, and there's famous photos
It was
and
a big
scenes
thing,
and radio
1973.
interviews, and, like, one of the, yeah, because it's funny, one of the most famous scenes, once Wayne Henley takes the police to this warehouse.
Yeah, he hasn't even had a chance. This is probably, what, 9:30 that morning?
Yeah.
Like an hour or two after he kills Dean.
He's like, "Listen, there's more people, there's more boys that are missing. I could take you there." 2 sets of brothers were found.
Yeah, they were buried on top of each other. And what, they said they didn't even dig but 6 inches in and started finding...
So they started at 8 p.m., it says, and by midnight, they had 17 bodies out of this tiny rental shed. And when they came into the rental shed,
there was lime.
Yeah,
there was
like dirt
boys'
floor,
clothes.
The boys' shovels, bikes, shoes, socks, bags of lime.
So it was a freaking graveyard.
Graves, and they used trustees from a local prison to dig
to dig the kids up.
Man, and they were all wrapped in the plastic like they found in the apartment. And he would come to the shed 2 and 3 times a week, I'm guessing, to finish out the settlement and
Does that be steady killing kids? 50 boys in a 4-year time span? That's a lot of murder you're doing weekly.
So outside of the shed, they have a photograph of Wayne Henley calling his mom, because that's the first thing he wanted. No,
it's filmed, yeah.
Is it filmed?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's from a car phone in 1973.
Yeah, and it looks like Zach Morris's phone.
Yeah.
It's this huge remote car phone. The sheriff had it.
Right. So they immediately started digging up cases of missing boys. The problem was, there was only 50 cases of missing boys, and they have 3 bodies left that are unidentified as of 2017.
Yeah.
So they're not really sure how many, because a lot of parents did after the fact. They're like, "Hey, I haven't seen my kid in such and such years, but I never reported it because
back then it was more like normal for the oldest boy to leave.
That's crazy.
To run away. It was more normal then than it is now. Like he's gonna go be a man, I guess, or whatever.
So they just
didn't report it,
and the police would tell him that too.
And the police would tell them that. Well, that he's more than likely to run away.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, no. Like that's a horrible. Terrible. But yeah, it was more.
It was right there.
It was more accepted back then than it is now.
Yeah. So all together, and then that wasn't the only. Okay.
And they were lower class families. And
a couple days after them getting all the bodies out the sheds, a father and his son comes down to the police station. The boy's name is David Brooks. He's 18,
and he must have told his parents, and his dad is like, "We're going to tell the police you're involved." David probably seen it on the news
and thought, "Oh shit!
Oh God, I'm going to be implicated anyway. I might as well go tell my."
And I don't think he really wanted Henley to get away as this hero.
Yeah, because that was what's going on. Is Henley slayed the beast? That type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a victim and he got away and he shot and killed him instead of the real. In reality, Wayne was involved. And David Brooks, I guess he's convicted of at least one murder, eventually. So, I don't think he was as involved as Wayne. It was like Wayne was his replacement, in a way. Because he was living that life before Wayne came in.
And Wayne, like we mentioned a little bit ago, he was more like the executioner.
Yeah, and he almost felt good about the fact that, I shot and killed them. I see it as like he was putting them out of their misery.
Right.
because of after,
But he
giving
would
these
walk
boys
up-
over.
yeah.
But he's just as guilty
I see
because
it more
he
of a. He could have did it. He stuck the gun in their mouth, dude.
No, I know. It shot him right in the face
So they
and
had to
probably
been
watched him.
somewhat alive.
But he probably asked him, and once your penis is bit off and you've been tortured and raped and stuff, you probably do want to die.